today's episode as we talk about Taylor Swift and Travis Kelce. Prior to the wedding, about this week, they've given about $26 million to charity to support charity. That's a nice one. Bravo, bravo. Yeah, for a very long time, other celebrities has been having their flowers, enjoying themselves. Few of them have actually gotten married. But right now, it may have taken long time than expected. But virtually, they're both the Taylor Swift and Travis Kelce are marching down the ASILE today, being July 3rd, 2026. It's about the love story that she always wrote, the love story she wrote while she was 17 years old is taking place right now, today, at Madison Garden Square. I don't know how many of you are going to make it I don't know how many of you are going to actually make it to Taylor Swift's wedding today. Well, let me just share one or two things I got for you all, right? So stay cool as we run down little story about Taylor's journey thus far. She actually wrote love story at 17 years old, a teenage girl sitting in her bedroom in Pennsylvania, imagining a love so epic, so cinematic, so completely consuming that it could only exist in a song. She had no idea she was writing a prophecy. Because on July 3rd, which is today, in the New York City at Madison Garden or at Madison Square Garden, the most famous woman in the world in the music industry is getting married. Today, Taylor Swift, among all other female celebrity, to all the great things she has achieved for herself, is tying the knot with Travis Kelce. Yeah, Taylor has been very famous, particularly ever since she started her era to music. Taylor Allison Swift has actually won 12 Grammy Awards, the highest grossing concert tour in human history, with about 600 million records sold. A woman who turned her entire romantic history into chart-topping albums. That's actually something to give a kudos for. That woman is walking down the aisle, and the man waiting at the end of it. Can I tell you? Say, Travis Kelce. Three-time Super Bowl champion. Travis Kelce is also not a common man. He's a man of vision. a man who has actually achieved great things for himself. He has actually participated in the Super Bowl champion for 3 times, tight end for the Kansas City Chiefs, a man who, by his own admission, had to work up the courage to approach her at her own concert because she wasn't accepting phone numbers that night. This was actually how Travis Kelce got to meet Taylor Swift on one faithful concert of hers. He was bold enough, know what you want and go for it. That single act of boldness, regardless of her securities, her PAs, Travis walked up to her, and that was how the journey began. Ladies and gentlemen, this is the love story Taylor Swift wrote about, and it's finally, actually, beautifully real. You understand that? I need to know, were you, I need to know, were you, were you a Taylor and Travis believer from the one, or were you skeptical at first? I don't really know if you once believed they were actually going to make it this far. Were you their fans, as Swifties, as the fans of Travis and fans of Taylor Swift? Did you ever had it in mind or thought about it that someday they're going to settle down to become partners and spouse? Type it right now on the comment section. I want to see the audience hit the comments buttons, right? Let's talk about the journey for a while. Let's talk about this love story actually, how the love story actually started, right? Because it's more charming than most people remembered. It was in 2023, Travis Kelce, attended one of Taylor Swift's Eras Tour concerts, the most spectacular live event in modern music history. He wanted to give her his number on a friendship bracelet. Wow. A tradition started by her own fan base. But Taylor Swift has a rule. She doesn't take numbers from men during shows. She's performing, she's working, she's present for her audience. That is just what matters to her. Whenever she's on a concert, after doing rigorous of rehearsals, perfecting her music, her moves, her dance steps, she doesn't just want to be distracted, right? Not available for romantic approach. Travis went home with it, getting his number across to her that faithful day. And then, in what is honestly the most end hearing thing of a professional athlete has ever done publicly. He went on his own podcast and told the entire story transparently, vulnerably. He told the world he tried, he failed, and he thought she was incredible. Taylor Swift heard it and she thought, this man is different. The lesson gained here is sometimes we learn how to do things differently. Try a different approach. Yeah, that was actually what Travis did. When he tried the plan A, it didn't work. He had an alternative. That alternative was him being vulnerable and so transparent, telling the world that he has tried, you know, to actually express his level of love to Taylor Swift. What followed was one of the most public watched romance in modern history. NFL Stadium suddenly filled with Swifties. Swifties are Taylor Swift fans. Taylor at games, Travis at concerts, two completely separate universes colliding in real time and somehow beautifully making perfect sense together. So at the point, friendship began to be established, and they were just being around each other, supporting themselves. Whenever Travis had a game, a match, Taylor will be there to share him. And whenever Taylor is having her massive concerts, Travis will also be there to share her. And that was how they continued the journey. Now, the Taylor Swift effect on NFL viewership was massive. Young women started watching football because of this relationship. And I want to know, did you personally started watching NFL because of Taylor and Travis? Type yes, or already watched in the chat. Like, what prompted you to begin to love the NFL, Travis kind of football? What prompted you? Were you watching it earlier on, or it was because of the love you had as a fan of Taylor Swift that now made you to start watching NFL, the American football? Type it on the comment section. Yes, if that's your own case. So now let's take a moment to talk about the wedding that's actually taking place today. Today being the 3rd of July, New York City, Madison Square Garden. Let that sink for a moment. Not a private beach in Maldives, not a secret vineyard in Tuscany, not a remote island accessible only by private jets. It's taking place right in Madison Square Garden, the most ionic venue in the most ionic city in the world. The house that hosted Muhammad Ali, the one-time greatest boxer of all time, the GOAT, Muhammad Ali. the stage that held Frank Sinatra, the arena that has witnessed some of the greatest moments in sports and entertainment history. This is actually where the wedding is taking place, right today. So it's a thing of joy to give them their flowers. They've come this far, they had their challenges, they had to sacrifice, and they have to also support each other. And as God may have it, today they march down the axle and they tie the knots together. Taylor Swift is getting married where legends performed because, of course, she is. She is a great legend. Source says the guest is the guest list will be intimate by Taylor Swift standard. Close friends, family, her most trusted inner circle. This wedding is strictly on an electronical invitation. Nobody knows who is going to be performing. Nobody knows the guests that is going to be present. Nobody knows the attendees. It's just the standard, strictly on electronic kind of invitation. The hyping of the wedding is just quite massive. It's a top notch. The woman who performed for 90,000 people on the Eras tour is reportedly keeping her wedding deliberately personal. She wants it private, meaningful. She just wants it private. Because here is what I think Taylor Swift has learned after writing about love publicly for 20 years now, which is about 2 decades. Some chapters are yours alone. There are some things you own to yourself alone. You get it? Some moments don't need an audience. Some love stories are too precious to share with the whole world. This is one she's keeping for herself and herself alone. Yeah, that's just what it is. Here is what makes this moment genuinely extraordinarily beyond the celebrity spectacles of it. Taylor Swift spent years being publicly mocked for her relationships. Of course, a lot of her relationships didn't work. Every boyfriend became a punchline. Every breakup became a headline. It was more like a mockery at a point. You understand? The media built an entire narrative around her love life designed to make her seem unstable, unreliable, impossible to love long term. That was what she was painted as. That she could not love a long time. She could not hold relationship. She was called too emotional, too intense, too much of everything. She was given all sorts of names because she never she was never lucky with her previous ex in her previous relationships. And she responded only way Taylor Swift knows her. The way she responded was only the way she felt was the best way. Sometimes she just kept silent. You know, the way she responded was putting it in writing, turning those mockeries or those breakups into music. She wrote about it. She processed every heartbreak publicly. She honestly and brilliantly did, yes. And in doing so, she gave millions of women permission to feel their feelings fully without shame. She was using herself to, you know, relieve other women of their emotional depressions. Now, the woman they said loved too hard is actually getting married today. Like today. Nothing is changing these dates. It has been there for years, and today, eventually, it is manifesting. Come on, put a round of applause for Taylor. Put a round of applause for Taylor. Let's give her flowers. Yeah. The woman they said was too much. Found someone whom thinks she's exactly enough. She found someone whom thinks loved her enough. She found someone whom understood her better. You understand what I'm saying? The girl who wrote the love story at 17 is living it at 36. It's not really easy at 17. Like if you want to subtract 36 years from 17 years, that's about 19 years difference. She's just getting married after 19 years of singing her first love story song. But delay is never a denier. He who laughs best, he who laughs last, laughs best. What matters most is getting it once and getting it right. And at this moment, we could say that truly Taylor has gotten it right. This one, she got it very completely right. You understand? And every person who ever felt too interest, too emotion, too deeply feeling for this world gets to watch Taylor Swift walk down the ASILE and know that their love story is coming too. For everyone who has watched Taylor get down the axle, this is a prophecy and a prayer for you. Your own love story is also taking the right shape, is taking its right shape right now. As you watch them, as you show them up, as you wish them well, your own is not going to pass you by this year. We're just in July. So between now and December, sure, you're going to get yours and the right one. All right. That is why this wedding matters beyond the celebrity of it. That is why the whole world is watching. This wedding today is going to be shut down. No matter how publicly they just want to keep it, I can assure you that it's going to be shut down. The whole world is waiting to be, in an ovation. Presidents, I believe, will be there. Lots of country presidents, from the US presidents, and some top presidents, some top goats in different areas of expertise that are going to be there. They're going to be there to share up Taylor. They're going to be there to grace the occasion and make it colorful, because indeed she has actually given her best to the world at large. You understand? Yeah. Because Taylor Swift always, Taylor Swift has always been our mirror. And right now, she's reflecting something we all desperately need to see. Everyone has long waited for this day to get to know when she was going to marry, and eventually, today is the day. That's real love, patient, genuine, choosing love is absolutely worth waiting for. It took a long time coming thus far, and today she's getting it completely settled. And after she has become the latest wedded couple in town or in the world at large, it's going to be written, done, and dusted. Bravo, bravo. For all the Swifts out there, I know you're going to really make a lot of joyful noise today. Yeah. Now, I want this chart to be full of love right now. I want this chart to be full of love right now. Type the Taylor Swift lyric that feels most like your own love story. She's done a lot of love songs. Okay, so just one line to celebrate her. Type in the comment section one of her love stories that resonates more with you, that feels more like yours. All right, just one line. Let's choose those out beautifully. Okay, and let's continue to trust God in the life of the newly both wedded couple. I bring this to close by, you know, advising, lesson gained from this, from the Taylor Swift and Travis Kelce story. They're both very advanced in age, right? But delay is never a denier. If you're out there and you're thinking that, oh, you're old, you're at your late 30s, maybe 40s, and it's been taking so long, you don't even know when or if you're actually going to marry, it is better to have peace of mind. So I'm telling you, encouraging you this very moment, that your own man will find you wherever you are. Just do the things that ought to be done well. Observe due diligence both in your character as a bit good habits, and keep showing up humbly and homely on daily basis. And I can assure you that that's right man, that's right woman, your bone of your bone, the flesh of your flesh is definitely somewhere, and he or she is going to locate you. Are you a woman that has been bothered, has been wondering when and how, where? Just don't worry. Are you a man that is looking up to one very, uh, should I say, a high class lady, and you're thinking it's not possible to approach her? Someone that's courage right now, because if you don't take that first bold step, you're gonna lose her. That was actually what Travis Kelce did, regardless of Taylor performing in a stage. He walked up to her. He actually even drafted, his number on a bracelet and wanted to gift it to Taylor in form of a gift. What a creativity! You can imagine that extent of creativity. Let us put a round of applause for Travis. Regardless, Taylor actually rejected that day. Yeah, because she has a standard. Whenever she's performing, no disturbance. And that's her rules. And so far, that rules has been working for her. And that is what it is. Business before pleasure. You understand? So long live Taylor and Travis. Cheers to your greater heights. Cheers to your greatness. Cheers to your unity and peace of mind in your wedding and the rest of your life together. Enjoy. And God bless your marriage. God bless your home. God keep you with love and unity. Cheers, guys. Till we meet again. Bye.